Hello. I see a few of our regulars are saying hello and asking for messages. If you're not a regular, then please just bear with me for a few seconds while I explain who I am, who Ying is, who you can see talking there at the side, and how we work. My name is Marc Stuart. I am in Scotland. I am a Scottish trained church medium. Obviously, since March 23rd, when lockdown began in the UK, I have not been able to work in churches. Thereabouts, my wife and I decided to start doing a Facebook broadcast. You can see a long trail of videos on my website, Just a Scottish Medium, and on my profile. The early days were hit and miss trying to make this work. We've gone through a lot of technical difficulties, working out how to make this work. So here are the rules. If you want a message, type, I want a message, can I have a message, words to that effect. Ying is my wife. You're not going to see her. She hides around the corner. She puts your name in a box and your name gets drawn randomly. So that means the first person to ask for a message might be the last person to get a message. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying that could happen. That's the way we work. I believe that Spirit guides Ying's hand to the people that need messages. And usually we do run out of time. I work till 9 o'clock and I follow a set pattern of how we work. When I give you a message, Ying will usually type before I come to you so that you're ready. I try to give 2 or 3 lines of evidence of the person that's the spirit that's coming forward. Let's be absolutely clear. I am a spiritual medium, not doing anything other than spiritual life, proof of life after death and messages. Once you accept who I've got, I'm not going to waste any time giving you more and more evidence. I will then try and get a message from your loved one or your friend as appropriate. The reason I work that way is the way I work on church platform. I am trying to work the same way that I work on church platform. When I give you evidence, please give me feedback. Now, do not start giving me line after line of information. That's not what I mean by feedback. But at the same time, do not say yes or no. The reason for that is quite straightforward. There is a time delay between me giving the evidence and you giving the feedback. So going back to how I explained how I work, if I've given 3 lines of evidence and you come back with just yes, no, yes, that can often leave me sitting here trying to work out, was that yes to, for example, if I say I've got a man wearing glasses who's bald in his 70s, okay, there's 4 lines of evidence. Say yes, man, 70s, not bald, no glasses. You see where I'm going? Just say what you're saying yes or no to. Now, I will start working very shortly. I always do an opening prayer. There will also be a closing prayer. I will then do a very short, what we call in Scotland, a spiritual address. It will only last 4, 5, 6 minutes. It's basically message of the week from Spirit, because I do connect to Spirit for these messages, and it helps the medium when working on platform or stage to actually open up and receive messages. Many churches, when you go to work at them, don't actually ask you to do a spiritual address, and you always follow the rules of the church. But when you work on platform, basically it helps to be able to open up. Okay, so I'm seeing that there are some people saying we might have an echo. We will try and work on that during the evening. As you can see, I've moved the office around a little bit. So please bear with us. So if everybody would please join, and also one other final thing, if you get a message, please be courteous and stay to the end. As a medium, I am basically picking up on power from Spirit and your power. So you're sending your energy to me. I pick up on that and Spirit picks up on that. And if you suddenly if half of you get a message and then leave, the spiritual power level goes like that. And that's not fair to the people that have still to get a message. So please, if you're with us live and if you get a message, please stay with us till the end. I'm seeing that we're getting people saying they've got issues. We don't have any issues at this end. If you can't hear me, right, we've got 20 people live. I'm not asking all 20 of you to say, yes, you can hear me. But if you can't hear me, please just say you can't hear me. That's Kathleen saying there's definitely sound, so that's good. Okay, everything does seem to be working at this end that I can see. I've got sound. Got my microphone on my second monitor is down, so that shouldn't be causing any interference. Okay, so if everybody would please join me in prayer. Thank you. Eyes closed, please. Dear Father, Mother, Spirit, thank you for bringing us together. Thank you for opening the door to the other side. Please bring forward the loved ones of the people that wish to receive messages. Please let anyone that is here who needs a message get chosen in Ying's box to receive that message. Please help us all to connect, help us all to deliver the messages, and please do some good in the world. Please, I'm begging you. Things are bad just now. We really do need the help, all the help that we can get. Thank you. Amen. Okay, so we're going to give a very short spiritual address. Ying and I were in the car yesterday driving through Edinburgh. We were on, I wouldn't describe it as one of the busiest roads in Edinburgh, but it's a feeder road into one of the, well, basically the motorway that goes around Edinburgh. So it is quite a busy road. This woman was in a small SUV on this side of the road. Excuse me, this side of the road. And she pulled out, crossed over the road, and then started to park directly in front of us. Okay, fair enough, no problem. So we stopped the car. And then this pedestrian, who was obviously related or connected to the woman that was parking, walked into the middle of the road and puts his hands up like this, stopping the traffic coming in both directions. Now, okay, fair enough. While somebody is parking, that's perfectly legitimate. However, there was three things he then did that my veins were, as a driver, just suddenly wanted to pull out. First off, the woman that was parking the SUV, I was the nearest car, so I had wide vision to it. Now, I've driven SUVs half my life. The parking space that she was trying to get into was far too small. I'm not joking. She must have had 4 inches at the front and 4 inches at the back. So she's sort of pulling out, in, backwards and forwards, inch by inch. Okay, fair enough. She was doing it. She was getting in. No problem, apart from irritation. But this guy stands in the middle of the road with his hands up. Her car has now pulled in, so it's perfectly safe for traffic in both directions now to pass her. And he's still standing there. Then a car, who obviously knows him, stops on the opposite way, blocking the oncoming traffic. He then turns around and he's having a conversation with the driver while she's parking. He now turns around and starts having a conversation with the woman on the right-hand side that's coming towards us, having a three-way conversation between the three of them, blocking a road on one of the busy times in Edinburgh. Finally, the woman coming towards us pulls away. He moves in towards the car, so he's only about that far sticking out. So it's now perfectly safe for cars to pull out onto the other lane to overtake him. So that's what I do. I signal, make it move very slowly, only moving about 5 miles an hour to overtake him. The idiot then crosses over the road and blocks us, puts his hands up like that to stop us driving. So I'm now on the wrong side of the road, being stopped by him, can't pull back because the cars behind me are pulling behind me. And he's standing there like Lord Fauntleroy, directing the traffic with his hands and quite happy. I mean, he looks about 18 or 19. And to be blunt, probably too young even to be driving. I'm being slightly sarcastic there, but I doubt from the way he was behaving that he's ever passed his highway code. The point is, it's very easy to act stupidly. It's very easy to put yourself in a dangerous position, because if I had been going slightly faster, if I'd been going at, say, 15 miles an hour instead of 5 miles an hour, given the distance that we were, he could quite easily have gone over the bonnet the way that he came in front of me, because I wasn't expecting him to come in front of me. A car behind me could have been going faster. They could have gone into my boot. So he was actually breaking the law. He was jaywalking. He was blocking a road. He could probably have been charged with a criminal charge that we've got of disturbance of the peace. Finally, he walked back in and graciously let us drive past. Spirit is like this. What do I mean? We all make assumptions about spirit. We all think we know how to act, and I'm as guilty of this as everybody else. I know how spirit works through me. That doesn't mean to say I know everything. I do know a lot because I've been doing this for over a decade. I'm a church-trained medium, so I bring that expertise with me. But quite often when I'm giving messages, I get things that are completely unexpected, because you never know how spirit are going to work through you. You can never make assumptions, and you always have to be on the guard for people that basically are idiots and react to you in ways that are not very good. So, for example, just to wrap up, I mean, this hasn't happened for a long time, but we sometimes get people deliberately coming on board trying to disrupt us. So one of the advantages of the software, like I said at the beginning, we've been doing this for 6 months now. We've learned how to do this. When I get somebody like this, basically, I just click and delete them. So let that be a warning to anybody. If you can't take the message, that's fine. That's not what I'm talking about. Just say, no, I can't take it. That's perfectly good. Getting a no is just as good as getting a yes, because it gives me the ability to work with spirit. But don't start getting aggressive. Don't start making fun of anybody. Don't be disruptive, because I'm not going to mess around. I'm just going to click and you're gone. Okay. I wasn't planning on being negative there, just explaining. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for giving me the time to fully open up. So I am coming to Kathleen Hanlon. Kathleen Hanlon.
No, Sharon.
Sorry. I apologize, Kathleen. I'm not coming to you. I've been told by my chairing wife I'm coming to Sheryl. Sorry, I got the name wrong. Thank you. Sheryl Hanlon. Sheryl. Sheryl, I've got a man coming forward from the other side. I'm going to put some age-wise... Difficult to put an exact age on him. I think he's in his mid-60s. 60s approaching 70, maybe in his early 70s. So let's just say an age range, mid-60s up to mid-70s. Short grey hair. Very thin. Not... I don't mean he looks ill, but he's slim. Let's just say slim. Yeah, he's making me say the word slim as opposed to thin. Okay, thank you, Sheryl. So let me see why he's coming forward. He's making a noise in my head. Now I'm just going to give you this because I'm finding it a little bit difficult to interpret this. It's like a regular beating noise. Now I don't know if it's a physical noise or if it's a symbolic. It's almost like a heartbeat. It's almost like a heartbeat, but it's like a drum. It sounds like a drum, but it's like the rhythm of a heartbeat. It's like somebody taking a drumstick on a drum and doing it as regular as a heartbeat. And you know how when you hear, like in the movies, you know how it goes da 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 da. That's what this is like, but it's not natural. It's as though somebody is, like he or somebody is beating it. Can you understand that, Sheryl? Because I'm finding it very difficult to make sense of it. It's just a noise. a regular noise that has the rhythm of a heartbeat, but it's coming across like a drum. Like somebody, it's like somebody playing music on a drum, and they're just okay. Thank you, Sheryl. I'm glad you can make sense of that. But just to explain to somebody, to people, quite often spirit will give you things that mean something to the person that you're giving the message to, and in these circumstances, you just have to give it. And then the person that, like Sheryl has just done, has to come back and see if she understands it. Right, now let me see. Okay, thank you for the explanation, Sheryl. So it's coming from somebody who's musical, right? Okay, so let me see what this musical person has to say. Making me take deep breaths. I mean, just it's not. It's actually breathing. So Sheryl, are you having difficulty breathing just now, or does somebody around you? This is the message. This is not the person. Really struggling to breathe all of a sudden. Yeah, like it's not. It's even more. Excuse me while I breathe out. It's Sheryl. Do you understand either yourself or somebody around you? Either maybe at the end, maybe. Okay, right, fine. So you understand what this is, okay? Honey. I'm being shown. This man is showing me a jar of honey. Do you know? Okay, so thanks for that, Jason. In case in case anybody doesn't realize, this is two of our regulars, and I know there are a couple. Right. So Jason, so Sheryl, I think this is for you to do for Jason. A hot toddy. Now, I don't know if you're Scottish. A hot toddy is basically whiskey, sugar, honey, hot water, and it's very soothing for breathing problems, cough problems, clearing the nose. It's what you give somebody with a severe dose of the flu or with severe breathing problems. Obviously, it's quite alcoholic, so you don't give it to anyone that can't drink alcohol. But basically, that's what I'm being shown. Okay, Jason. Well, this isn't your message. This is Sheryl. So I'm going back to Sheryl, but clearly you're acknowledging that. Thank you. So Sheryl, can you grab Jason's jar of honey and look up YouTube and get a recipe? If you don't know how to do this, you'll find it on YouTube. Don't panic because I'm being shown YouTube. And go and make him what we call a hot toddy in Scotland. That's Ying just adding her tuppence worth. Okay, so I'll leave you with that, Sheryl. Coming to Fiona MacDonald. Coming to Fiona. Okay, there's Jill, who is Scottish, just adding her medical diagnosis to that because I'm not medically qualified. I'm not even pretending to be. Okay, so Fiona MacDonald. Fiona, coming to Fiona. Fiona, I've got a woman coming forward. I'm getting it now. This may not be the woman's name, but I get the feeling her name is Joyce, or it may be somebody connected to her or you that is the name Joyce or Julie. It's definitely J. I think it's Joyce, but I'm not very good with names, I'll be honest. So Joyce, Juliet. So Fiona, can you take a woman in spirit? I would say she's in her 60s. Young, she looks like a young 60s, but personality-wise, I think she's very elderly. Somebody that when they were alive, they always acted as though they were older, or they always gave the impression that she was older than she was. Okay, thank you, Fiona. So we know who we've got. Let me see why she's coming forward. Okay, so not the name then. I don't know why she's giving me that name. I say it's a J. Maybe not Joyce, maybe Juliet, but if it's not her name, it may be somebody connected to you or somebody that was connected to her. That sometimes happens. They give you evidence of things in your life. So just hold that name for the minute. It might come to you afterwards. Let me see why she's coming forward. Again, I'm just going to give you what she's showing me because I can't make any sense of it. It's an island with a mountain on it, not a volcano. You know the TV series Lost, or the TV series Arrow. I'm going to both of them because they both were set on islands. It's that kind of island with this big silly mountain in the middle of it, and it's not a real island. It's definitely not real. So this is definitely symbolic because it's a cartoon that I'm being shown. It's a cartoon island with a preposterous big mountain on it. It's almost like a child's drawing. A child's drawing of an island with a big mountain because the mountain's way out of proportion to the island. I mean, it's almost at the point that the mountain is the island with a wee ring of grass and sand around the foot of it, and then you've got the sea. Does this make any sense to you? Okay, if you can take Ireland from that, Fiona, I'll leave you with that. Like I say, it's like a cartoon of a mountain. It's a drawing. It's like a child's drawing of an island with a mountain in the middle of it. All right, let me see what else the woman's got to say. Fiona, I'm going to ask you a direct question because I'm trying to make sense of this. She's saying go home. Now, I don't know if you're in Scotland or not, but in Scotland, we're not allowed to visit. We're in sort of partial lockdown. This came on a few days ago on Friday. We're not even allowed to visit other people's homes anymore. We all have to stay in home. So what she's saying is go home. So Fiona, does that make sense to you? Are you staying away from home? Are you having to go home? Is Ireland your home that you have to go back to? But that's what I'm getting. It's very, very strong home. Go home, stay home. I'm struggling. So, Fiona, does that make sense for you? With what you're saying about the male with the J, that often happens. They give you a name of somebody else that you know as evidence that they were connected to. So just take it for that. Coming back to the message about stay home or go home, does that make sense to you, Joyce? Just give me a clear yes or no. Okay, so I'll leave you with that. Glad you can make sense of that because I was struggling there. I hate it when they just give you images that the medium can't make sense of, but the person you're giving the message to can take all and fit it together like a jigsaw puzzle. So I'll leave you with that, Fiona. Thank you for your patience. Coming to Caz Mclean. Caz. Caz, I've got a man coming forward. I would say he's age-wise, he's not that old. He's not young. He's middle-aged. I would say somewhere round about 45 up to early 50s. A man in his middle 40s to early 50s in spirit. Quite strong. Now, I don't know if that's physically strong, but a very, very strong personality. Not aggressive. You know, we're not talking about a bully. We're not talking about somebody that's laying the law down, but very, very, very strong. Like he's the kind of person that when he was alive, if I was up on the church platform and he walked into the church at the back, I would know that he was there. Just such a strong personality. It would blanket everybody out. It's almost like he would blank. I don't mean this negatively. I'm not saying in any way negative, but his personality is so strong that he would walk into a room and everybody in the room would be drawn to him just through strength of personality, strength of will, or other people around him would be quietened because if he was going to say something, everybody around him would just go quiet. So, I'm trying to get a message from him. It's almost as though he doesn't. Yeah, got it. I can't speak all of a sudden. It's physical. It's either an inability to speak or it's a sore throat or cough or breathing that is literally stopping me from speaking. I am. Let me give a second to get him to take this back. This isn't him. This is somebody alive just now. So, Caz, is this you or is this somebody around you? Can you understand somebody around you? Very, very, very huge difficulty, even now, if I'm taking it back. Somebody with an enormous difficulty in speaking. It's almost painful. I mean, you can see my hand. I can't take my hand away from my throat. It really is overpoweringly. Oh, whoever is suffering from this, I feel sorry for them. So, can you understand what this means? Is it you, Caz, or is it somebody around you? So, Caz, can you take the inability to speak, painful throat, painful mouth, but so painful it's actually stopping this person? I don't think it's you. I think it's somebody around you. So, can you identify the person around you that either can't speak or they've got a health issue with the throat, mouth, that is stopping them from speaking? So, okay, you're not sure about that. Sorry, wrong click there. Okay, so let me see what else they'll give me. I think this is now. Let's be absolutely clear about this, everyone. I do not diagnose. Under no circumstances take what I'm about to say as a health diagnosis because I'm not qualified to interpret what I've been given. But I think this is a warning. Either somebody is going to be That was somebody saying it could be Trisha. Sam, are you and Caz connected? Because this is definitely a message for Caz. So, Caz, are you and Sam connected? Would either one of you give me a quick yes? Sam, are you giving advice to Caz, or do you think it's somebody else? Because it's definitely not a message for you, Sam. It's definitely a message for Caz. But if you know Caz and if you can identify the person that we're talking about, then okay. So Caz and Sam, can either one of you come back and just confirm if the two of you know each other? And are you talking, Sam, are you talking about somebody that Caz knows? Okay. Right. Okay, Caz. Yeah. It's your daughter. Yeah. I'm getting, my head is actually being pushed forward. Okay. Right. Sam, just a health warning. Don't try and come in with a message like that, because you can see that that interrupted the message. So please, everybody, if I'm going to open it up, I'll tell you that I'm opening it up. So, Caz, getting back to yourself, right, we know we're talking about your daughter. Now, as I said, I do not diagnose, but the pain that was going through my throat, I don't know how old your daughter is, don't know if she's a child or if she's an adult able to explain, or if she's old enough to explain, but just trust me, I was in agony. So please get her treatment, give her sympathy. If she's a child, I'm not going back to the previous message and telling you to give a child a hot toddy, for heaven's sake. But if she's old enough, maybe consider the hot toddy. I think this is just to let you be, I think the message is just to let you be aware how much pain your daughter is in. It's more than just choking. It really is painful. It was absolutely raw. I mean, I couldn't speak. Yeah. So, like I say, don't give a 3-year-old a hot toddy, clearly. And obviously, the 3-year-old is not going to be able to express herself. But just trust me, this was a lot more than just a sore throat with a cold. I mean, I'm not diagnosing, so don't. I say I am not medically qualified to diagnose. But I know if I had that throat, I'd want antibiotics. So, and just be absolutely clear, I'm not diagnosing antibiotics. Just go away and look after your daughter. Oh God, I'm getting it again. Give me a second to break this and get and ask them to take it back. So I'm going to leave you with that, Caz. Okay, coming to Alan Berwick. Alan. Alan Berwick. Alan, coming to Alan. Alan, I've got a woman coming forward. Something about this woman's mouth. I don't think it's physically deformed or anything, but very, very dry lips. So, Eileen, are you speaking for Alan?
Yes. They're using one computer.
Okay, so that was Ying just shouting. In case you heard her, that was Ying just shouting through. Okay, thank you, Eileen. So, Alan, I've got a woman in spirit, extremely dry lips. I mean, we're talking wrinkled. Oh God, they're really giving me all the. They're really putting all the physical into my head today. Oh, I hate. Honestly, I'm sorry for people. I'm trying to be positive with these messages, and I'm not being negative about the message about the woman, but I really do hate when they get this physical with me. My mouth, my lips are so dry and wrinkled dry. The woman is quite elderly. Uh, Okay, Eileen, as I said at the beginning, when you give me a yes, please tell me what the yes is for. So are you saying that you can recognize the woman? Are you saying that Alan can recognize the woman I'm talking about? Or are you just saying yes, that you're here, Alan? So I'm going to take that as yes, that you recognize the woman, Alan. If I'm wrong, come back and tell me. Let me see why she's coming forward. She wants you to sing. Alan, I think this is evidence that she's with you. When you're in the bathroom, shaving, washing, standing in front of the wash hand basin, getting yourself ready for the day, do you sing? Just a simple yes. Well, obviously tell me yes, sing or no sing. Alan, when you're in the bathroom, shaving, washing, hair, etc., do you have a habit of singing? Does that make sense to you? Can you take that? Very specific. Alan, and it's the same, it's like, it's either the same song you keep singing, or you've got a very limited repertoire of maybe 1, 2, 3 songs. I get the feeling it's maybe 3 songs. So does that make sense to you, Alan? Do you, when you're in the bathroom... Okay, Eileen, thank you. So that was the spirit of this woman, just giving you evidence that she's with you. Now, let me see what the message is. She's playing a song for me. Now, I don't think this is the song that Alan is singing. I think the song is the message. And I think there's a message in this song for you that you understand. You know the movie Grease? You know the opening theme music? Now, they sing it as a song in the musical, the movie, and on stage. But this is the song that they sing at the beginning, Grease Lightning. You know, when you get the central character getting, again, bathroom. Yeah, it's the same imagery. You know, greasing the hair, and then he goes out and he gets into the car and drives away. There's something in that song, either about, let me see if I can make sense of this, because I'm actually seeing the opening. I'm actually seeing the opening. I'm being shown the opening cartoon of this movie, not just hearing the song now. You know, Grease like, you know, Grease Lightning, da, da, da. Oh God, I should never take up singing. Like I say, the guy starts in the bathroom, puts the grease in the hair, goes out, gets into his car, and drives on, and then meets up with his friends, and all the characters in the movie come in as cartoons. So it's me that's interpreting this, not that I'm just trying to make sense of the message that I'm being given. Are you holding back from starting something? Like you're dithering. You need to kickstart and get going. You know, really get starting. So, Alan, you're doing something, you're holding back from something. Again, the message is in the song, and it's going to be fantastic when you get started. You know, it's going to be like the musical. It's going to be spectacular. It's going to be a mega success, but you're holding back. You're not getting up in the morning. I'm not saying you're sleeping in. I mean, that's just symbolic. But again, going back to the cartoon, you're in bed. You're not putting your grease in your hair. You're not putting the leather jacket in. You're not getting into the car. You're not revving the engine. You're not zooming off and starting. Can you understand that, Alan? The message is just very direct. Get started. Stop holding back. So, Eileen, Alan, does that make sense to you? Give me some feedback. Can you take that message? Can you understand it? Okay. Thank you, Eileen. So it's just a very direct message. Stop dithering. Maybe even stop singing. Get started. I'll leave you with that. Just putting up a few previous messages that have come while I was working there. Okay, so coming to Paul Smith. Paul. So Paul, I've got a man coming forward. Paul, I've got a man coming forward. Black hair, very black hair, short black hair. Age-wise, I'm thinking 50s, but that's don't take that as an exact. I'm just getting the feeling that he's in his maybe late 40s, 50s, or very early 60s. But I know that's quite an age range. Now that's Ying, my chair, just checking. Paul, are you still with us? So Paul, if you're still with us, give us a double yes. Yes, you're still here. Obviously, responding proves you're here. You know, if it breathes, it's alive. Which is rather a sarcastic thing to say when we're talking about spirit. I do have a warped sense of humor. Okay, thank you, Paul. So, Paul, can you understand a man in spirit? I think this man liked to look good. I mean, it's very, very much, his hair's well combed, well kept. Not, it's not a number 2 haircut, as we would say in Scotland, but it's not, long, bushy hair. It's black, short hair. In his early 50s. Okay. Maybe this was an older man. Okay, no. Think about it wider. Widen it out, Paul. Don't think just about people close to yourself. This is somebody that passed in their early 50s, late 40s, heart attack. It's not you I'm describing, Paul. This is not you. This man had a severe heart attack. So this man either died of a heart attack or had a severe heart attack when he was alive. Definitely someone in spirit who had a severe heart attack. Okay, well, thanks for that feedback, Paul, but it's definitely not you I'm talking about. Okay, now again, Jill. Okay. Now, I'm not 100% spot on with the age, but when I was going back with the age, I got the heart attack. Okay, so in his 40s. Right, fine. Again, did he have short black hair? Now that we know who it is, do I need to get more evidence, or can you take the short black hair, Paul, for your cousin? So, Paul, yeah, Joe, you should know better than that. So, Paul, right, I'm going to see why the man's coming forward. I'll leave you to come back about the black hair. Paul, do you have anything to do with ropes? Okay, well, put the hair aside. Maybe the hair was you. Maybe that was your cousin letting me see your hair. I didn't think it was, but let's go with that. But it was definitely, when asked more evidence, it was the heart attack. So, and I'm getting, he's pushing my head forward. God, they're getting really physical with me tonight. So it's definitely your cousin. Right, so the ropes must be symbolic then. It's, when you were in primary school, you know how they used to have climbing ropes? They would have these big ropes that you had, like I could never, ever pull myself up them. That's what I'm being shown. It's an image of, again, this is just symbolic. It's an image of me as a child at school trying to clamber up the rope. Now I'm not. This is a symbolic. I mean, I'm not saying you're me. They're just showing me trying to get up a rope. So, what are you trying? Think about this, Paul. What are you trying to do just now that you're hopeless at? You don't stand a chance in hell of ever doing whatever it is you're trying to do. It could be a hobby. It could be something specific. It could be something you're thinking about doing, and everybody is looking at you in the like. This is what they're showing me. Everybody's looking at me in the gym, and I'm trying to get up this rope. I mean, I'm 6 foot tall now. When I was a kid at school, I didn't put any height on until I was in my late teens. Basically, I almost doubled in size when I became a near adult, like 16, 17. Up to that point, I was literally half the size of everybody else in the school. And they're showing me as a kid, symbolically, trying to climb up the climbing rope in the school gym. So, right, so it's symbolic, right? Okay. I was trying not to make it sound so hopeless. So it's you that's feeling hopeless. I think that's the message for you, Paul, because it's me that they're showing, and I felt so hopeless when I was trying to climb up that rope. So can you understand you, not your wife? Can you understand, Paul? Can you understand you feel you're battling constantly about this, and you're feeling helpless about it? Can you understand that? So just don't give me any details, Paul. Yeah, okay. I think the message for you is what I just described. Go back to the imagery that they showed of me. They showed me climbing up the rope, and then suddenly, like at the age of 15, 16, I'm not joking. I went from, I mean, I was about this height when I was 15, and I went to here. I effectively put on a quarter of my body height in the space of about 2 years. I mean, I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's what I did. So I think the message for you is keep battling. Everybody is looking at you. Everybody is telling you it's hopeless. You feel it's hopeless, but keep battling on. I mean, this is your wife we're talking about. You've got to get rid of the feelings of help. This is the message I'm being given symbolically. Keep climbing the rope, because all of a sudden you're going to grow up in height, and you're going to be able to climb. The rope's going to become irrelevant because you're going to be so tall. You're going to be able to reach up to the top of the bar and grab the bar that the rope is tied to. So just take that, Paul. And I'm going to ask everybody tonight, please stay with us to the end, and we're going to send our healing prayers to you, because I'm being made. Oh God, Paul, you're in tears, aren't you? Paul, don't cry, please. There's always hope. So, Paul, your cousin is putting tears in my eyes, making me feel the way. I know this is the way that you're feeling. You've got, for your wife and for yourself. I'm sorry, people. I'm going to stay with Paul longer because Paul really does need this. You have got to keep battling. You have got to keep moving onwards. Your cousin's with you all the way. Oh God, I'm being overwhelmed by spirit. There are more spirits coming. You have got a lot of people in spirit. Yeah. Like I said, Paul, they were putting the tears. They were really making me cry there. So, Paul, like they're getting very physical with me tonight. I don't normally cry, so I'm making them take it back. Paul, I have got so many spirits coming for. Oh God, sorry, I can't even speak. Paul, I have got so many spirits coming forward that are with you, that are supporting you, that are helping you. You have no idea how much help and support you are getting. So please just take all the energy that all these spirits are coming forward for you. Sorry, I know I appear to be stuck, and I know I appear to be repeating myself, but I am just simply overwhelmed by the amount of healing that is being sent. Yeah, it's healing, Paul. All these spirits are channeling healing from the other side to you and your wife, but it's you that needs the healing. It's you that needs to I'm just showing you some of the messages that are coming up, Paul. So please, Paul, just take all of this. Everybody here tonight is sending their healing energy. All the regulars here know what I'm going through, and I'm not joking. There are so many spirits coming forward with healing for you. I'm going to pull back now, Paul, because we are running out of time, and I would like to try and give another few messages before we finish. So please, people, just give me a few seconds to... Okay, thank you. Coming to Denise Currie. Denise Currie. Right, Denise. If you're still with us, Denise, I've got a man coming forward on a bicycle. Somebody that when he was alive cycled. So, Denise, I've got a man coming forward who, when he was alive, cycled. Maybe not up to the point where he passed, but when you knew him in life, he was a cyclist. Someone who cycled. So, Denise, can you take a man? I get the feeling he didn't. I get the feeling he had to give it up as he got older, because he wasn't able to keep going at it. But very, very definitely, when you knew him at some point in his life, I mean, he's showing me the full. I mean, we're not talking about getting on a bike and just going out for a casual couple of miles. We're talking about somebody that did it to keep fit, or somebody that did it on a regular basis to get to work, or somebody that just really enjoyed cycling. I mean, that was a big factor in this man's life. That's all I'm getting. I can't even see how old he was when he passed. He's just totally focused on the cycling. So, Denise, can you identify who this man is? Okay, so let me see what else he'll give me. I think when he passed, he was quite elderly. The word I'm getting when I ask him for more is he's describing himself when he was older as sprightly. And he is quite elderly when he passed. Certainly the wrong end of 60, maybe into 70s, maybe even going up to 80, but very, very sprightly. That's the word he's using. I'm not saying he's going out cycling in his 70s or his 80s, but he is, I mean, he's not somebody that became housebound or stuck in a chair, let's put it that way. Even up to the end, he was able to move around. Like I say, I don't think he's going jogging at in his 70s, but he certainly would go for a long walk, if not cycling. Let's say the cycling was earlier in life. if you can identify this man, I think if you do your research into the man, or if you sit down and think about it, you're going to fit the man together with the bike. But Denise, can you take a man that was quite elderly before he passed, that you would describe him as sprightly? Absolutely, that's the word he's using. Maybe even the word means something to you that I don't understand, but I'm being given very specifically the word of description is sprightly. I'm repeating myself. Denise, can you take this or no? Just give me a clear yes or no. Okay. Right. Okay, sorry, Denise, I'm going to have to open this up. So, can anyone take a man who during his life, very heavy focus on cycling, bicycle, and like I say, in his elder years, he didn't pass before he passed into spirit, he was, the word he's using is sprightly. So that's either something that whoever he's coming for would describe him, or it's a description that you recognize. Okay, Kathleen, we've got Kathleen coming forward. Before I try and get more evidence for Kathleen, is there anybody else that would recognize this man before I start seeing if I can get evidence for Kathleen to confirm that this man is coming forward for her? Right, okay, Kathleen. So let me see what else I can get from him to try and tie it down. The expression tie me down. Right, I hate when they do this to me. We've got two people that might be able to take the man. So Jill and Kathleen. I'm going to go with Jill and Kathleen. Hold on, we've got... okay. Okay. I think we've got Kathleen, because when I said sprightly, I was seeing him walking. So, Kathleen, I think we're going to go... yeah, I'm getting my head nodded. So I'm sorry, everybody else that came forward. This is definitely for Kathleen, because when I said sprightly, when I got the word sprightly, I was actually seeing him walking. So Kathleen, we're with you. So, okay, Kathleen, let me see why he's coming forward. Well, Kathleen, the walk that I was shown was about... it's a walk that you and I take together quite often. Round trip, it's about a 6-mile walk. So I'm going to put that down as quite a reasonable walk. Unless the number 6 means something for you, Kathleen. Okay, Kathleen, let me see why he's coming forward. Hopscotch? Kathleen, does the expression, you know the kiddies game, hopscotch? This is going on just now. This has got some meaning for you just now. Either as an expression or as a girl, and I don't think it's you. Well, okay. 6th day of the 6th month, and I did get 6, so okay, we asked for confirmation. I think we got it, Kathleen. So, Kathleen, I'm getting it as an expression. I'm not seeing a girl playing hopscotch, but I feel feminine, and it's definitely, the chalk marks, where you jump and it sort of goes out, and then if you don't recognize the game, you'll have to look it up later. But does the phrase hopscotch have some significance for you? Very specific. I'm not getting anything more than just the phrase the game. Asked for more there, and what I got was the game hopscotch. Right, so you know the game, but I'm not getting anything more than this, Kathleen. Right, so you played it as a child. Okay. Right, okay. Yeah, I'm having my head nodded. That's it. So it's just further evidence. Go back. Kathleen, do you have a memory of your grandfather and you playing hopscotch? Very specific, just the two of you. You're playing hopscotch, he's with you. Yeah. Like I said, I was getting more than just the game, but think back to when your grandfather was alive and you were a child. Think of a time when you were playing hopscotch and the only adult that was there was your grandfather. Your grandfather said something to you. It's a memory. And it's not an evidential memory, it's the message. Right, okay. Well, I'm going to have to leave you to think about this, Kathleen, because it was too specific. If it's not your grandfather that said it, it's definitely a man, like an adult, who's with you when you're playing hopscotch. I made the assumption it was your grandfather because he was giving the message. But some adult, some male adult, when you were a child playing hopscotch, said something to you. So, Kathleen, I'm going to leave this with you. Whatever your life is like just now, think back to whatever this male adult said to you in childhood when you were playing hopscotch and transfer that, what was said to you, to your life. Right. Thank you, Kathleen. So you can recognize it. Okay. Well, that's us getting on, everybody. We're beyond 9 o'clock. I'm not doing an open circle tonight. I normally invite people. Okay. Thanks for the feedback, Kathleen, but I don't know what the meaning of that is, but you have to apply it to your life. Something about your life just now, you have to apply what he said to you. And I'll leave you to interpret what that means. Because I'm in the process of closing down now, people. So thank you for coming. I'm now going to ask you all to join me in prayer. And please, everyone, let's just work together and channel some healing energy. So please, everybody, join me in prayer. Dear Father, Mother, Spirit, please take the loving, healing energy of everyone here tonight, and all my regulars are here tonight, and I know that they will do this for me. So please take all the healing energy, channel it to Paul, let him find the strength that he needs, let his wife get some healing energy as well, but please let Paul be there for his wife. Let Paul be able to draw on this energy when he needs it. When he feels like you made me feel earlier, please help him to overcome that. And please give him the energy, the healing energy now and when he needs it. And I'm going to thank everybody for helping me to do this. I am not a healer, and I find it very strange to be trying to channel healing energy like this because that's not my forte. But Paul was sent here tonight, and I think there are enough healers in this audience tonight to channel that healing energy. And I want to thank Spirit for me being here to enable this to happen. And please give God's blessing, Spirit's blessing, and all religions' blessing to Paul. Thank you. Amen. Okay, well, thank you for staying to the end. Thank you, everybody, for the healing energy. It is usual for me to go out with some music. You know my music that I like. I've liked this music very, very much. It helps me to relax. So I'm going to leave you with this. It plays for about 3 minutes. I hope you enjoy the music, and I hope to see you again next week. Just to confirm, Ying and I do this every Sunday, 8 o'clock UK time. So you're welcome, Paul. I'm basically going to play some music, and that will play us out. So thank you, everybody, for those that listen to the music. In case anybody's curious, I filmed that about 2 years ago in Niagara Falls at a Celtic festival for Scots. I think I was actually the only Scotsman there with a real accent. Just putting up a few messages. Thank you, everybody, and good night. Closing the broadcast down, and I hope to see everybody next Sunday. Good night.